Folks, Ford Field is basically a cider mill, and you're ordering up gallons of SOL.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Matt Dery with you. It's Locked On Lions, the Postcast edition on a Sunday, October the 2nd into Monday, October the 3rd. Unfortunately, we're talking about another loss as the Lions fail to get a single stop all day. Not a single punt from Seattle, and the Seahawks come into town, into Ford Field, and win 48-45. Another record-setting performance from this abysmal and embarrassing defense. Future head coach Aaron Glenn's defense. The Lions put up 45 points today at home and lost to a bad Seattle team that is rebuilding and was led by Geno Smith. A Geno Smith-led offense came into Detroit and put up 500 yards of offense. What? You can't make this up. Matt Dery, Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making us your first listen, blah, blah, blah. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube channel. I've run it all down before, all right? You know where to find me. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here today. Lion fans should be furious with what they saw today. This defense sucks, and the scheme's awful. Oh, but Aaron Glenn doesn't... I'm sorry, it's going to be future head coach from now on. Future head coach Aaron Glenn doesn't have any material. Wait till Pascal comes back and owns Enrique. Give me a break. On 3rd and 4, when you need a stop, why is your defensive back 20 yards back? This scheme sucks. You're blitzing all day. Maybe one time show blitz and back off. Shane Waldron took Aaron Glenn behind the woodshed today. 48 points to the Seahawks. I like DK Metcalf. Fant's not bad. Tyler Lockett's decent. Rashad Penny averaged 9 yards a carry. Who? Oh, when I think of great running backs in the league, Chubb and Rashad Penny. We're brought to you by BriteCo. This episode is brought to you by BriteCo Jewelry and Watch Insurance. BriteCo brings you comprehensive, fast, and affordable jewelry insurance for as low as $5 per month. Check out your special offer for Locked On listeners and get covered in under 2 minutes at brite.co/Locked On. That's brite.co, brite.co/Locked On. I do have some game balls to hand out today. One of them won't be to the kicker. Brad Holmes has no idea how to evaluate kickers. Zero. Al Avila thinks Brad Holmes is doing a good job evaluating kickers. This team's about to have another kicker next week. This poor kid, Dominic Eberle, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's kicking the ball left. I like how today he missed the extra point. Robert Smith, the analyst on Fox, goes, yeah, he was kind of doing that same draw in practice. Then he pushed one right, and he kicked the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. He'll be gone. Another kicker for Brad Holmes. It's like 50 in 2 years. What are they doing? I feel so bad for the fans. The fans were loud today. There were 60+ thousand again. Place was jumping on the first series. Everybody was on time. Everybody was there early. The Lions, for some odd reason, won the toss and elected to defer. Why are you putting your defense on the field? The defense sucks. Oh, but we want the ball in the second half. Well, you put the defense on the field first. It's 7-0 before you can blink. Geno Smith. Let's talk about this for a second today. I told you in the pregame, and I hate doing the I told you routine, but we did a video pregame. I said, the Seahawks defense is terrible. The Lions should run the ball and win. And TJ Hawkinson is due to have a big game. And he did. He had a great game. But today, Geno Smith had a quarterback rating of 132.6. This guy was out of a job years ago. This guy was jettisoned out of New York. Couldn't make it with the Jets, who never have a quarterback. Geno Smith threw for 320, 2 touchdowns, 132.6 passer rating. He also rushed for 49 yards and a touchdown, and had a perfect passer rating of 156.8 in the first half. Geno Smith. What's going to happen in a few weeks when this team plays Aaron Rodgers? What happens when they have to go up against Trevor Lawrence? Or if Dak Prescott comes back when they play Dallas? You're getting pantsed by Geno Smith. You couldn't stop him. Then Rashad Penny's busting out a 3rd and 16, 40-yard touchdown run or whatever it was. And I know the officials were terrible today. Clay Martin and his crew were horrible, and they screwed the Lions at the end of the third quarter when they were down 8 out of a stop. But like 3rd and 16, and you blitz 9, you have 9 people running into the backfield, and Geno Smith just handed it off to Rashad Penny, and he ran for a touchdown. Somebody explain to me what this scheme is of future head coach Aaron Glenn, because I don't know. Geno Smith has 132.6 on you. Rashad Penny runs for 151, averages 9 yards a carry. DK Metcalf, who had about 130 total yards of receiving the first 3 weeks, had been held in check. He busts out for 7 catches and 150 today. I don't know who the Seahawks punter is. I don't know his name. You know why? Because he never hit the field today. The Lions could not get any stops. They gave up 14 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second quarter, 14 more in the third, and 10 more in the fourth. And of course, they made a comeback. This team plays really hard. They never quit. The offense deserves a ton of credit. Do you realize the Lions set an NFL record today? They're the first team in NFL history to score 41 or more points at home and lose. 48-45. Every single time this offense delivered, without Amon-Ra St. Brown, without DeAndre Swift, without DJ Chark. Then Evan Brown gets hurt. That Jared Goff was really good today. He threw like 400 yards. Yeah, he had a bad pick 6. All right, bad throw. But if your quarterback throws for 378, 4 touchdowns, and has a passer rating of 121.5 and was only sacked once, and you lose, what are they going to do next week against Bailey Zappi? What is this? They can't kick. They can't stop anybody. And they're 1-3. I'm telling you, Seattle's terrible. 2 weeks ago, I watched them play the Niners. They scored 7 points. Last week, they lost to the Falcons. Now, I know Atlanta beat Cleveland today, and this league is wide open, and all these teams are basically the same. But, like, my God, this was not Russell Wilson today. This wasn't the Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman wasn't playing. Bobby Wagner wasn't playing. The Lions, let me look this up real fast. The Lions' total yards today, 520 total yards, and lost. And yeah, the penalties were gross today. 8 penalties for 59 yards. Seattle was penalized 11 times. But the Lions gave up 555 yards of total offense to the Seahawks. What happens when they play Aaron Rodgers? What's going to happen there? The Lions also set a record today. Where's this stat? I got some stats. There are 141 points allowed, is second most in team history through the first 4 weeks. Second only to the magical 2018. Poor Jamal Williams. This guy, TJ Hawkinson, these guys were killing it today. The Seahawks were 9 for 12 on third down today. 9 out of 12. This was a home game. What a disaster. Oh, but they play so hard for Dan Campbell. That's running thin with me. I'm well aware of all the injuries. But look, Amon-Ra, Swift, all these guys were out today. The Lions at one point, oh, yeah, Cephas got hurt again. There's an old bit. All right. They were down to like Tom Kennedy, and they still scored 45 points. Don't tell me about, well, they need Romeo Okwara back. Oh, please. Has anybody ever watched Julian Okwara try and play against the run or play action? It's laughable. And that's coaching. That is such poor coaching. 48-45 Seahawks. Lions are 1-3. Let me tell you about BriteCo, folks. Listen, you got to go to the website, brite.co/lockdown. Fastest, easiest, cheapest way to cover your butt with the best jewelry insurance in the business. Here's the lesson. You don't want to be that guy, and you certainly don't want it to be splattered all over the internet. The guys at BriteCo Jewelry Insurance will make sure you get a replacement for the full value of that ring. You don't want to lose your ring. You don't want to lose the watch, whatever it is. But if you do, you don't want to be caught with your pants down. Go to brite.co/lockdown, and you'll get the best jewelry insurance in the business. These guys at BriteCo are geniuses. They made buying insurance for your engagement ring, your watch, or whatever so friggin' easy. You can get covered in 2 minutes on your cell phone. Even future head coach Aaron Glenn can get jewelry insurance from BriteCo. For $5 a month, you get total comprehensive coverage. It won't take you more than 2 minutes on your cell phone. Check it out. BRITE, brite.co/lockdown. Got to see the videos on the website. They're great. BriteCo has a bunch of these hilarious videos that you can see for yourself at brite.co/lockdown. Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network. Matt Dery with you. Sunday Postcast right here, right now. Seahawks 48, Lions 45. Lions could not get off the field on defense at all. Today they forced no punts. They did get a turnover on a kick return, or on a punt, excuse me. A great play by Malcolm Rodriguez. We can rip the defense to shreds and talk about how the interior of the defensive line is so bad. The linebackers not named Rodriguez stink. The secondary's brutal. The safeties are so bad. All these guys that Brad Holmes drafted. Where's Melifonwu? Kirby Joseph lost today. Lost. That's the guy that started today? He's not ready to play. And I know they lost Tracy Walker. But at least Juju Hughes has some experience. They put Joseph out there today, number 31. He didn't know where he was. He's looking around. He doesn't know where he's going. He made one nice tackle today on Metcalf. That's it. They were completely lost today on defense. Anytime they needed a stop, they just couldn't get it. And yes, I get it. The refs screwed them at the end of the half, or at the end of the third quarter. It was looked like the Lions had finally gotten a stop. 31-28 or 30. It was 38. What was the score at the time? It was, hold on, 31-23. They looked like they got a stop. The back judge came in and whistled the play dead, even though it was an incomplete pass. Said there was an issue with the play clock. And they got screwed. The very next play, Rashad Penny runs for 36 yards against the blitz. And it was like he was untouched. Seahawks, Jason Myers, that guy's making 56-yarders. Lions kicker Dominic Eberle, yes, he made a 49-yarder today, but you can't miss 2 extra points. You can't kick the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. And the Lions were down to Justin Jackson at the end of the game. Still, made it a 3-point game. This is shades of last year, folks. Oh, they were so close. Oh, the Lions lost another tight game. They got to finish these games. You're at home playing a bad team that came in 1-2. We're talking Geno Smith. Maybe Geno Smith is coming of age, but look at what Shane Waldron, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, look at what Pete Carroll, they were schooling the Lions coaching staff today. Shane Waldron called the same play over and over and over again. Geno Smith rolls right, fakes play action, bootlegs left, tight ends open, receivers open, backside running backs open. all day. The Lions couldn't stop it. That is coaching. I know the players aren't very good. The Lions the linebacking core. Derek Barnes. These are draft picks of Brad Holmes. We're not talking about Bob Quinn players. There are some Bob Quinn players left. Will Dissly, 4 catches today. Cody Parkinson, 2 catches today. Noah Fant had a catch today. Yeah, the Seahawks can't cover tight ends either. We talked to Corbin Smith on the crossover show on Thursday. He was concerned about it. I knew Hawkinson would have a big day. But you score 45 freaking points at home, you should win. Next week, they got to go on the road and play the Patriots. I know this isn't Tom Brady and all those dudes and Gronk. But New England's winning at the half in Green Bay right now. If Pete Carroll can come into Ford Field and tap that butt, what do you think Belichick's going to do? And I'm well aware of the Matt Patricia stuff. I can hear it till we're blue in the face. But you got to win these games. Because there's tougher games on this schedule than what they had today. And last week, they had the game won. They should have beaten Minnesota. Today, you're not going to beat anybody not getting any stops, not forcing a single punt. That was pathetic. This defense is number 32 in the league for a reason. They below. And there's not enough material. The second round jinx is alive and well. Onwuzurike, Pascal, Swift, all these guys are hurt. Tease Tabor was on the Seahawks sideline today, speaking of second round jinx. Not a single sack on Geno Smith. Not one. Couple of pressures here or there. Aiden Hutchinson today, 5 tackles, 2 solo, couple of quarterback hits. Charles Harris, 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 pass defended. 3 quarterback hits all day. 2 by Hutchinson and 1 by Malcolm Rodriguez. That's it. The vaunted Lions, aggressive defense. We're going to come after you. We're going to bite kneecaps. These quarterbacks have had all day, other than week 2. They got to Carson Wentz, and they won. Couldn't touch Jalen Hurts, couldn't touch Kirk Cousins, couldn't touch Geno Smith. Ay, ay, ay. What a disaster. The interior of the Lions' defensive line, they need a defensive tackle. They need a dominant defensive tackle and somebody that's going to disrupt some things because they can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're getting killed at the line of scrimmage. And the Lions' offensive line is really good. On the Jamal Williams touchdown run, Skipper came over. It was perfect. It was perfection. Ben Johnson is doing a whale of a job as the Lions' offensive coordinator. It's a 51-yard touchdown run. Now, Seattle's defense is trash, but so, Lions block. On the other side, they get their butts kicked. Anzalone could not guard, could not defend that bootleg pass, and they just kept running it. Try somebody else, dude. Game balls next. Some of your tweets. Well, let's do this. At Dery Speaks, Dery Speaks. I've not done enough of this this year. Some of you have tweeted in, and I appreciate that. Rob's Mental Playground, a legend in the game, says offense has 1 billion injuries, puts up 45. Defense has 1 billion injuries, gives up 41. Pick 6 by Jarrett. It's coaching, everyone. Plain and simple. I'm firing Glenn yesterday. I don't have patience for this anymore. Sorry for spamming you, Dery Speaks. David Benjamin writes in, Seattle might score again after the game just because they can. Oh, my God. Michael Siffer says talent, scheme, or both. Yeah, it's both. It's both. Richard Hayden writes in, ready for Patricia to light up the defense? Question mark. I can't even get to next week yet. Can't even do it. H2 writes in, you better bring the flamethrower to the podcast. DZ. I'm doing the best I can. Trying. Kevin Kelly, gee whiz, Brad Holmes really got a steal in the 4th and 6th, folks. What about everything else? Love Fest is over. Well, this is going to take some time. All right, I'm not ready to run Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell out of town. But what I am going to do is point out the deficiencies. You have to. Dan Campbell has this team playing hard. They are always in the game, even when they're getting their asses kicked, or butts kicked, excuse me. Try not to swear. They're always coming back. They're always scratching and clawing. They're bought in. The problem is execution, scheme, coaching, X's and O's, not good. On offense, it's fine. One Ahuna, HPU, Fire Glenn. Plymouth Jim, you can't scheme your way around very little talent on defense. Huh? We know it's not talented, and then they took a big hit with Tracy Walker. But my goodness, this is a better roster than it was a year ago. Talent, bad talent or not, you can't give up a 48 burger to Seattle. You can't. You can't. Game balls. Number 1, Jamal Williams, 19 carries, 108 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry, 2 more touchdowns, a 51-yard touchdown run. Yeah, a couple of drops in the passing game, but I thought Jamal Williams did all he could do. I thought he played well. I really do. TJ Hawkinson was awesome today. This was the guy that we've been looking for. This looked like the number 10 overall pick or 8 overall pick. 8 catches, 179 yards, a career high, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. Had that 81-yard scamper down the sideline. He was fantastic today. TJ Hawkinson did all you could ask of him to do today. He was really, really good. Defense, no game balls, none. I'll give a game ball to Ben Johnson as well. I like the scheme. I like what they're doing. I didn't like the game plan early in the game. They got away from the run game way too early. But they put up 30 points in the second half at home and lost. Ben Johnson's doing a good job. This offense is high-powered, even without all these guys today. I'd give Goff a game ball, but that pick 6, I can't. That was such a bad throw, bad decision. Tariq Woolen, 5th-round pick, by the way. That dude's got speed. Just a bad play. Cost him. 48-45 Seattle. Postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. We're back again tomorrow. We'll see what PFF has to say. We got guests all week. We appreciate you making us your first listen. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you again tomorrow.